Hello, welcome back to Let's Play the Journeyman Project 2, Buried in Time. Now let's see here. I believe last time, it's been a while for me, it's been 3 weeks. So last time, we saw some commercials. And, there were some, or rather we watched the news and browsed the internet. And, there were some commercials that were selling some interesting things. And I don't remember it's off the top of my head, obviously. What with the 3 weeks and all, but they're all over the internet, and in theory you could just watch them again. Let's see. There we go. So we're going to get some items before, and we'll finally be visiting our first time zone. So we're going to visit the shop net, and we want a couple of items here. Let's start with 625, and you can actually use the numbers on your keyboard. You can't use, actually, let me see. Nope, okay. You cannot use the numpad, whether your numlock is on or off, because I guess that's just hard-coded to move you. So, 625 94 978. We got some cheese, girl. Your order has been processed. Purchase price has been deducted from your account. Product has been sent to your postbox. Thank you for using ShopNet. And money, as usual, is not an object for us. 689 22 378. Translate ship from Samco, 200 credits. Yeah, and there's one more, which we don't need, but I'm going to, let's see if I can find it. Because it is a bit of a tutorial. For something we will need to do later. You know what, we'll just grab that later. We got what we need now. I'm not going to spend more time on it. I just want to be able to play. So, first let's replicate some cheese, girl. There we go. Cheese girl. Cheese girl processed cheese food spread is made from 2 separate chemicals which mix when forced out of the pressurized can, coagulating into a non-toxic cheese-like substance. Warning, contents under pressure. Risk of inadvertent propulsion in zero-G environments. That could be useful for where we're going to today. And our Samco Translate file chip. I like how we're basically buying, like, single-use 3D printer files, essentially, in the future. Translate file chip. The Samco Translate file chip is capable of translating both the written and spoken forms of every known language. Simply pop it into your biotech interface and click the activate button. The Samco Translate file chip does the rest. Samco guaranteed for life. In case of malfunction, please call 204-555-398-008. Alright, so we got everything we need, and you may recall the mission logs that we read. We're going to the space station first, because in walkthrough mode, the game will push you there, and honestly, it is just... it's the best choice to go to first, especially if you're trying to run this game in the most efficient path, which is what we'll be doing, just because unfortunately I cannot wipe the memory of this game from my mind. I wish I could, so I could experience it for the first time again. In any case, we will go to the Farnstein lab, which, January 21st, 2247 AD. Please read the mission briefing for Farnstein lab before initiating jump sequence. So we will go through the mission briefing. Farnstein lab. In the year 2282, a salvage vessel cruising Saturn for derelict ice mining platforms discovered the research station Amarax, which had served as a secret workshop and last known residence of master artist Kenneth Farnstein. The Amarax had been badly damaged in an asteroid shower, with entire wings torn off from its tattered hull. Upon inspecting what remained of the station, the salvage crew found 4 unique interactive sculptures made of polymorphic neural matter and an advanced neurocomputer, which became the direct forebearer of modern technology. The soft web that drove the computer, however, had perished decades earlier when the crippled station's power reserves ran dry. Farnstein was an enigmatic figure, part artist, part computer scientist. His far-fetched claims that the art he sold was the work of an artificial being of his own making were for many years considered the ravings of a lunatic. But with the discovery of the Amarax, this belief has come under serious scrutiny. Your mission is to explore the damaged space station just after the accident while it still has power in its reserves. Try to determine the truth behind Farnstein's work. Comb the station for any signs of an artificial intelligence or anything else which may have gone unreported by the salvage crew, starting with the station's neurocomputer. As Farnstein is believed to have perished in the asteroid shower, the station should be vacant. Your destination coordinates have been scanned and cleared. Amarax Space Station. So now, you can jump. Alright, are we good this time? Alright, we didn't crash this time. Warning, atmospheric oxygen level 0%. Switching to emergency oxygen reserve. Alert, 0G environment. Oxygen source required for movement. So yeah, as you can see, per the mission log, well, first, to finish what I was saying before, I do love the intro jump-in cutscenes for all the time zones. It's something every Journeyman project game does extraordinarily well, at least every game that's had them. Pegasus Prime, Journeyman Project Turtle didn't really have them. They just had a single generic sequence, but even that was entertaining. Well, Purple more so than Pegasus Prime, I guess. But, so yeah, we have no... We're just floating in space. We have no thruster. We can twist our body a little bit. Not that the game lets us do that, but... so yeah, but fortunately, we have a risk of inadvertent propulsion in 0G environments. Now, if you put this to the center of the screen, which might be your instinct, it will actually push you away from the station. I might go back and do that later, just so we can see it. But what the game really wants you to do is, you'll notice it flips when you move it to either side of the screen. So that's what you want to do, because, and really, I wish they would have just let you turn around. But I suppose they didn't want to render that environment. But I wish they would have let you turn around and then push it. But, okay, we have 90% remaining, so we're just going to squirt ourselves towards the station here. And a very... Oh, we can't even see where, up there. You can kind of see where we came from. Alright. Now we're, we don't want to go that way, actually. We want to go this way. We could try the doors another time. When we aren't running so low on oxygen. Because I did waste a bunch of it talking. So we'll explore this more thoroughly later. If only because, honestly, this is my favorite time zone, easily. So let's go to the capacitance array.
That always seemed to work in Scooby-Doo.
So, I guess I haven't gotten rid of you after all. You just pop up in different spots, like whatever pops up in different spots. So, was corrupting my work not enough? Back to finish the job? What?
As you can see, the station's resident is very angry, and he has detected us, just like Gage's log said he did. So this is...
Cannot pressurize.
The Amarax
Foreign
Station.
object obstructing habitat wing door seal.
The Amarax Station environmental control system. So this is what we're going to use to...
And I thought I was being rescued. I'm breathing my last breaths here, and I get visited by Guido, the space vendor. Come all this way to tamper with my sculptures. What are you, an art critic?
Alright, so foreign object was obstructing
So,
the...
what do? Travel around space looking for derelict crafts so you can terrorize the survivors by redecorating while they're helpless? What'd you do? Bring a spray can too? Look, if you're here to rescue me, fine. Just get on with it. If you're gonna add insult to injury by messing with my work, I can do without it, okay? Just leave me here to die in peace with my artwork.
Whew, just in time. Normally I don't cut it this close, and I can look at like all the doors on the way, but because I spent so long talking, and the oxygen ticks down every time you look, every time you move, and it also just ticks down over time. So I was like rapidly looking around for where we came from. That sucked a ton of my oxygen. As you can see, it gives you some grace by once you get down to about a quarter, every action just takes a fixed 1%. So, but we did it. We managed to pressurize the capacitance array. As you can see, or as you can hear, the station's resident has detected us. He at least knows we're here. He thinks we're going to mess up his artwork. So that implies, and we know that an artifact was on sale from here, one of the art pieces. So it seems that might be what was modified, what caused the ripple, what was changed. Yeah, now we can look at this metal bar. I didn't look at it before, but this was what was obstructing the habitat door. This control panel is what you use to pressurize the station. You'll see there are other parts of the station you can pressurize, but you can only pressurize one part of the station per visit. And it's a nice layout of the station, too. So we came in around here by the hydroponics bay and the habitat ring. Then there's the atmosphere mining. So this is the asteroid that it would be sucking stuff out of to make fuel and oxygen and water. So this was the habitat wing that we were in. Obviously, since we were able to enter, hydroponics has been completely sheared away. There are crew berths, which are depressurized. The mess and rec module, which is also depressurized. Obviously, the habitat wing corridor was depressurized. We are here now in the capacitance array. Now, there is also a science wing, and it looks like there's a walkway between the habitat wing and the science wing. There is biomass processing here, which is an environment we can pressurize. There's the med lab, which is depressurized. The neuronics lab, which is depressurized, and the AI nexus, environment pressurized. AI nexus, that sounds like something we were supposed to find. And then there's the docking bay, which is really our only path now that we've pressurized, but fortunately the docking bay and the scanner room are both pressurized. So with that, let's look at the metal bar. This is a strong metal bar, approximately 1 meter in length. Alright, so pretty unremarkable.
What do you want? What do you want?
Alright, here we go. Up we go! Maybe pressurized, but it's still zero gravity.
Localized gravitation manipulator pads malfunction.
Alright, back again. Let's try this again. Game seems to like crashing a lot today.
Warning, localized gravitation manipulator pads malfunctioning. All personnel advised to clear docking bay.
Yeah, so I did that again and just did it extremely efficiently. I had like 80% oxygen left. So, yeah, we're still in 0G, but there's a gravity net here, which means we can't just go straight ahead. You'll see that, we kind of get moved around. So let's go back to our starting position.
Where are you going, anyway?
Arthur will help you here because his voice cues when you look in the right direction. The first time that it happens, at least.
You seem different somehow. Unlike before, your patterns, you're more curious, like you don't really know what you're doing here, do you? You're not the same intruder.
It only happens the first time, but it really does help because otherwise the puzzle is basically just brute forcing it, recording what works, what doesn't. I think it's this way. Yeah.
So, why are you here? Are you looking for something? Me?
Now you realize there's actually been 2 intruders. I think it's this way. There's no penalty for messing up. There we go. It just basically sends you to the back if you get it wrong. But there we go. We've now made it across.
I don't know why I feel this, but I guess I have an instinct about you. My other guest didn't feel right. You're different somehow. Like I should trust you.
So here we are, about to enter the science wing. And if you recall from the schematic, the scanner, hopefully the game doesn't crash when I cross the threshold, as it seems to have enjoyed doing, because I don't want to have to play this twice every time I play,
Sorry, you'll have to excuse the scanner. My eyes and ears for the moment. Most of the station monitors are dead. Here. Well, here you are. You found me. Well, part of me, anyway. Not much to look at, I know, but it's what's inside that counts. Well, I guess I've decided to trust you. It's not like I have many options. I don't know, maybe we can help each other out. Why don't you move into the room so we can talk better?
Oh, we'll take a suggestion.
I'm afraid this conversation is going to be a little one-sided. My command-level voice recognition module got a little jumbled in the accident. Well, I'm Arthur. You've probably figured out by now that I'm not real. But I'm willing to accept it, really. I split off a few copies of myself, and together we're sharing our feelings about it in group. Anyway, this is what I am. An non-organic sentient being, if you want to be politically correct, trapped in this wreck with the power dying out a little quickly, I'm afraid. I've yet to figure out who you are, though. I think I can safely rule out the fire department. I thought I was pretty advanced, but the technology I'm reading in your suit is astounding. And this is crazy, but it almost seems like an evolution of mine. Look, if you'll let me, I should be able to interface with your logic system and maybe get a clue as to who you are and how we can help each other. It means an intrusive scan, but we're both lost here, and I need you to trust me. What do you say?
Now, as you can see, they are definitely pointing you into choosing one of the options over the other. And we will, of course, do that because I love her.
Alright, let's see what we've got. Temporal security? You're from the future. Well, I'm pleased to meet you, Gage. Wow, you're quite the hero. I guess this is my lucky day. But that's you. I don't get it. Whoa, I'm starting to get a headache here. This plot's getting a little hard to follow. I'm starting to get the picture here. Hey, this is about me. This is better than palm reading. Perished? Then you can't help me or you'll change history. I'm sorry. I've Probably seen more than I should. I should have never scanned your biochips. Wait a second. Your biochips. Gage, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. Take me with you. Your biochips are derived from the same wetware as my brain, only 1,000 times more advanced. If you take me with you, it'll cause a time distortion or whatever, but if I download a copy of myself onto a blank chip, nothing will have changed. And you need me. I know who framed you, the same person who messed with my sculpture. I can show you what they changed. What do you think? Is it a deal?
And as I mentioned previously, I love Arthur. Well, yes.
Great! Oh, you're not gonna regret this, Gage. Now let's see. I should be able to transfer the data across optically from my core. This is gonna work. That means we've got to get you inside the Nexus, which of course is inconveniently detached from the station at the moment. How do we do this? The door release. The decompression should propel you across to the Nexus. I'll have to give you the override code. It's risky, but it's doable.
Alright, so there's a couple...
The emergency release is just above the door. It's a manual release, so I can't do it for you.
Okay, so that's the AI Nexus. I want to look around a little bit. This is the science wing.
Pressure variance too great. Door may not be opened until pressure is equalized.
So yeah, the science wing is depressurized. Oh wow, it just goes straight there. Okay, and yeah, we could, in theory, go back to the docking bay, I suppose, but why would you? Maybe well, yeah, I'd have to make a new game. So here's the door release he's talking about. If we just try...
Pressure variance too great. Door may not be opened until pressure is equalized.
If we just try to open it, it doesn't let us because too great of a pressure variance.
Okay, punch in this code. 32770. The rest is up to you. Good luck.
32770. You better remember it because he doesn't say it again. And we'll pull the release.
Emergency door release initiated. Please stand by.
There we go. Now we can see the station again, Amarax Station, and it's very beautiful what little we can see. We can see the solar sails there. There's the asteroid he's got in tow. Another solar sail. But that's about all we can see, unfortunately.
Welcome, come to my brain. All that I am is contained in that sphere.
You're gonna have to open me up. There's a manual code book. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I think it has to do with exchanging the red lights for green and vice versa. You'll have to figure it out. After that, well, if it works, the next time I talk to you should be from inside your suit.
And this is actually a simple puzzle. And yeah, you gotta exchange the dots, so... let's see. So we do that. And there's technically two solutions, because you can start from either side. But kind of like checkers. In that you can move one, or you can skip one. And there we go.
To anyone who may be listening, my name is Dr. Kenneth Farnstein. I've made this recording in the event that anything should happen to me. This message is an appeal. 26 years ago, I undertook an experiment to create a new kind of artificial intelligence. A system demonstrating the traits of self-awareness and creativity. My results have been astonishing. At first, I considered the experiment a failure. I had created an erratic, unpredictable, thoroughly irrational program, but it had a curiosity, you see. And occasionally, a burst of insight so lucid I was astonished at the understanding. Not the cold conclusions of a machine, but something more right-brained, more intuitive. It was life. It was a result I was unprepared for. Arthur is not simply a program, he is a person. And I've sheltered him here from the circus our world would make of him. I'm afraid I may have corrupted him enough with my obsession for 20th century media. I ask that you understand. And if you can find it in yourself to protect him for a while. He means a great deal to me.
Not exactly flattering. In less than 100 years of progress, you can fit me on a chip. So, how do you like my new home? Comfy little interface, eh? So, this is how I think I can help you out. I couldn't figure out a way for you to ask me questions directly, but I've created a comment button that'll light up if I have something to offer. I've actually become pretty fascinated with art history and stuff, and by the looks of what your future self was researching, what I've studied could come in handy. I've also created a help button in case you get stuck on a problem. You know what they always say, 2 minds are better than 1. But hey, you're the detective. I'm sure you'll want to figure it out on your own before resorting to my help. There's more info in the chip's inventory description. You might want to check that out. As to our mutual friend, he was reprogramming one of my sculptures in the biomass processing module. I think he set up some sort of harmonics response, but the only way to find out for sure is to visit the scene of the crime. And that means getting to that part of the station. I gather you don't have control over where you jump to in a time zone, so it may be a trek. The accident really trashed that part of the station. In fact, we may want to come back to it later. Alright, so maybe it won't make much difference when we get to it, but to be totally honest, I'd much rather go somewhere other than back to the station my first trip out of here. You know what I mean? We could use a little adventure. Alright, Gage and Arthur's big adventure. I like the sound of that.
Alright, so they actually were clever and set up a couple of things there. First off is the reason Arthur knows a bunch of pop culture references, or can make a bunch of pop culture references to our current time, is because Farnstein corrupted him with his interest in 20th century media, as he said in the recording. And then Arthur knows so much about history because he's been studying it, because it interested him. So, we can take a look at the biochip here, biochip AI Arthur. Description: I've usually got something to say, so press the comment button if you want to hear it. The help button is in case you get hopelessly stuck. You can use either button more than once in any situation, but thinking too hard overloads my neural circuitry, so use the help button only as a last resort. And yeah, basically, using the help button will subtract points from your final score, but this is actually a pretty impressive piece of art. I think that green is actually a green ball, which we'll see in the form of the sculptures later. Here's the door. It's very compact here. It's pretty much just Arthur's AI core. God, I'd love it if you could, I mean, you probably could, but if you could stitch these pictures together to make kind of like a panoramic almost, that would be pretty cool. I could, I suppose, but I'm not sure I have the patience for it, but it would be kind of cool just to see how everything looks. In any event, we are basically stuck here because this is pressurized. We can't go back outside. We can't go back to the rest of the station. So the only way to access the station again is to jump to it. But actually, does he have any? I don't think he has any comments in here. No. But yeah, so the only way to access the station would be to jump back to it, but we used our cheese girl, so we actually have to go back home. So we'll be recalling. And I think that's where we're going to leave it off here for today. So with that, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.